Omotosho, show me the law. Omotosho, show me the law. Omotosho, 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 show me the law, show me the law, show me the law. Omotosho, 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 show me the law, show me the law, show me the law. Omotosho, 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 show me the law, show me the law, show me the law. Omotosho, 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 show me the law, show me the law, show me the law. Omotosho, show me the law. Omotosho, show me the law. Omotosho, Omotosho, show me the law, show me the law. Omotosho, Omotosho, show me the law, show me the law. Omotosho, 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 show me the law, show me the law, show me the law. Omotosho, 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 show me the law, show me the law, show me the law.
Jail Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is already a celebrity in prison. They said he has already become the president of the prison, but I doubt that is what Nnamdi Kanu wanted. But it must have been conferred on him just by respect, you know. So very soon, you will see that they will, on their own, reverse the most fundamental mistake they ever made regarding Nnamdi Kanu. You can quote me on that.
So Nnamdi Kanu is in SOKOTO prison.
What did we predict to you? That they will do that. But I also predicted that it will be the greatest mistake of their life. And now, the people we asked to protest to prevent Nnamdi Kanu from going to jail are all rushing to SOKOTO. I want his family members to give me the rights to admit people to see him, so that I can be screening them. And I'll tell you the day the judge who sentenced him is going to go to SOKOTO. He's going to go beg like Fela was begged in Bama prison for doing what is wrong, if he has not done that already. But if he wants to go, tell him to contact me. I will arrange the safe passage to SOKOTO. This was the worst thing they could have done to them. When they were taking him to SOKOTO, they thought they would ridicule him. When they got to SOKOTO, he has turned SOKOTO to another Mecca.
Yes, pilgrimage.
That's what we predicted. You know, they don't have sense because they don't have people who can reason in government. And now, look at where we are. The jail Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is already a celebrity in prison. They said he has already become the president of the prison, but I doubt that is what Nnamdi Kanu wanted. But it must have been conferred on him just by respect, you know. So very soon, you will see that they will, on their own, reverse the most fundamental mistake they ever made regarding Nnamdi Kanu. You can quote me on that.
So what do you have to say? The judge has ruled that you should be restrained from talking about some issues that incite the public against the government of the day.
Don't misquote the judge. He just said that he was talking about national security. I'm not the national security.
Yes.
I'm not a police officer.
Yes.
You also heard me tell the judge that we have a plan to defeat the candidate on the other side. And I will continue to make public policy statements. It's all right. You know, I think we have to give it to the judge that he applied wisdom.
So, Nnamdi Kanu has been seen of late talking about the safety of the abducted. He was even reassuring the families of the victims that their children are well and safe while in captivity. Doesn't that speak of?
Well, what Nnamdi Kanu has come to tell you is that he's the new chief negotiator with the terrorists. So, and that's probably what Tinubu appointed him to be doing now. What they are doing is empowering the terrorists, and it is because they have no capacity to disempower them. So they engage. If Nnamdi Kanu can tell you that they are in good hands, they said, and they are safe where they are, then come and redefine to me the meaning of safety. If a child who is barely 15 to 16 years is not in school and not with their parents, they are not safe. There's nobody who is safe in the hands of deranged kidnappers, terrorists or bandits. No. So that's why I said maybe you should redefine to me the meaning of safety. But they are telling you, without missing words, that's the world we are living in. Maybe some of you are still in denial.
Do you now support the US coming to rescue Nigeria?
No, the US is not coming to rescue Nigeria. The US is ridiculing Nigerian leaders.
So what should we do?
Well, kick out the leaders who cannot protect you.
Exactly.
That's simple. You deserve protection, not from the. You didn't elect Donald Trump to protect you. Elected, or they selected Nnamdi. And the reason I'm saying is so that those of you who are carried away by U.S. promises is that if the U.S. comes there to help you clear Sambisa forest, who is going to clear the forest in Edo State for you? Except you then agree that the U.S. must replace your government. So your next governor in Edo State will be called Moore from Idaho. The one from Ondo State will be from New York. The one from Zamfara, they may not find a governor to go to Zamfara because US people don't like to go to unsafe places. So, and I have restated it again, that as an African, a Pan-Africanist, it is a disgrace that we keep looking for salvation from the people who enslaved us, the people who colonized us. Somebody who took you as a slave 400,000 years ago cannot love you when it is him and his past policies and of their grandparents that put you in the condition there. Have you forgotten the Cold War? Have you forgotten colonialism? Have you forgotten their attempts to replace that? They've even trained so many of the soldiers you are seeing today, DSS, they were trained in the US or by the US security agencies. How come the training didn't have any impact on that? So, if you want salvation, build your own country. Elect leaders who can protect you, but always looking for help from people. It's either you are looking for, you are looking for help from a foreign religion, foreign god. Now you are looking for help from the foreign army to come and help you cleanse your land. They don't have your time. They have. You see, I want to tell you here, the US have what they call attention deficit disorder in terms of international intervention and policies. They don't have time for you to. They don't have time to stay with you. After a while, if it inconveniences them, they leave. But they don't even have any plan to come here except just do some symbolic actions, and then at the end, you are still going to need to have your leaders protect you after they have come and gone. That is if they come at all.
Do you now support state police?
What?
State police.
Oh, I've always supported state police.
Even if
but not without proper guidance and regulation.
The real terrorist is in the Azovilla. The headquarters of Boko Haram is the same address of Tinubu. So if you post a letter to Tinubu, if it doesn't come out on time, Boko Haram will collect the letter and read it and pass it to him. They live together. They work together, they plan together, and they share together.
How do you mean that the headquarters, the address is at the villa? Because
the villa, the state house, is where all this criminality is being planned. If you deceive yourself and think that Nigerian army cannot defeat the terrorists, then you don't know Nigerian army. Try and whistle at the wife of a general, and you see how the entire barrack will descend on you. Try and a whole minister of FCT could not collect one plot of land. You saw how that Navy captain stood his ground there, telling Wike, yes, you are not coming here. Imagine if every captain stood their ground and said terrorists not entering Nigeria like that. If the armed forces strong enough to stop a minister who is representing the president from misbehaving on the land that he has interest, say I have my orders. So are you telling me if the president of Nigeria gives an order that the whole of Lagos State should be evacuated, the army in Lagos will evacuate everybody? If they give an order that the whole of Kano State should be evacuated, the army has enough capacity to evacuate the whole state. The president made a proclamation, and the entire government house was forcibly evacuated in one day. So you are telling me that the president wants to end this thing, he will not end it, but their political money is tied to it. And if you think maybe because I don't like them, which I don't pretend about that, go and read the EFCC reports on what Jonathan did with the money he borrowed in the name of fighting Boko Haram. You are journalists, you saw the trials, you saw the investigation. Who was collecting the money? The money was shared to politicians, girlfriends, contractors, hospitals. Let's say we're even a nation of cripples. That sometimes in the past, there was no proper polio vaccination. And majority of Nigerians are crippled, we have no leg. We have enough resources to hire machinery to kill Boko Haram and terrorists and bandits.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending, of course, on where you hear my voice from. It's always a pleasure to come your way, and I'm happy to start today's audio by wishing our people, fellow Biafrans, freedom lovers, people of goodwill and faith. I wish you all a happy brand new month of December. Yes, this year, 2025, came up like it was going to last forever. We saw January, 2025, and eventually we have moved on. November ended yesterday, and of course, December has started today. I wish you all good times. I wish you all favorable December. And I wish you all every good thing that you pray and wish for you and yours. Welcome to the month of December. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I want to start the calling on a happy note. I want to tell all of you and assure you, all Biafrans, don't panic. We are winning. Biafrans, don't panic. We are winning. Biafrans, don't panic. We are winning. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make bold to say that, of course, the whole episodes that have happened, especially within this year, starting with the incarceration of our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, then this trial and mistrial of Nnamdi Kanu'S, which culminated in his being given a life sentence and immediately stampeded to SOKOTO maximum prison. Yeah, SOKOTO correctional facility. We saw how our own Nnamdi Kanu'S was bundled like a common criminal and taken down to SOKOTO in a twinkle of an eye. He was now, dumped. Let's use the word dumped at the SOKOTO maximum correctional facility. So that's just how it is. So Biafrans, we have seen that this month didn't really end, on a good way. But hey, brace up, because I give you breaking news. Yes, Biafrans, don't panic. We are winning. Everything that has been happening has been done for a purpose. Everything that's been happening in the life of Biafrans and to Biafra land has been done by a purpose. It has been orchestrated by wicked, infamous, and hopeless political leaders, especially of southeastern extraction. Our governors, our legislators, our senators, and our leaders in the southeast have all conspired with the Dagaban to ensure that Biafrans and everything Biafra was subjugated and, of course, treated with such wickedness and such unpalatable experiences. We have seen how it happened because at the beginning of this year, we had a lot of leaders coming up to tell us that we are telling you for certainty, that Nnamdi Kanu'S is coming out soon. There will be no trial. There'll be a political engagement, and he's coming out without much scruples. A lot of people said it. Governors said it. Legislators said it. Senators said it. We have it on authority. We heard from the horse's mouth. Nnamdi Kanu'S will be released from the DSS dungeon any moment from now. We can assure you he's not spending Easter or any other time, longer than Easter in the detention of the DSS. Ladies and gentlemen, we heard that from several governors. We heard that from Chukwuma Soludo. We heard that from David Umahi, former governor of Ebonyi State. We heard that from Ojo Zokalo, senator. We heard that from Hope Uzodinma. We heard that from a whole lot of them who came out telling us that they heard from the horse's mouth. They have discussed with Mr. President. They have discussed with the powers that be, and they can assure us, yes, everything about Nnamdi Kanu'S will be speeded up, and it's going to be guaranteed a free and safe, movement out of the DSS dungeon or DSS detention. That all matters of his concerning his trial will be dropped immediately, and he will be given a clean state. That's what we heard. In fact, one of those that really touched us very deeply, was when we heard from our delectable Foreign Affairs Minister for State, our own Bianca Akachukwu, our wife of our former Biafran warlord. Yes, our late Dimo Akachukwu. Yes. His widow came out, told us with every manner of seriousness She is assuring us Nnamdi Kanu will soon be released unconditionally. And she told us, believe me on this, I have it direct from the horse's mouth. Me and my principal, the Jagaban, discussed, and I can assure you any moment from now. Fortunately, all this became a sort of blindfolding. It became an orchestrated plan to befuddle, to deceive, and to derail the Biafra agenda. Every aspect of their declarations, everything they said to us turned out to be a very big lie, turned out to be a mere imagination of the speaker. It turned out to be that the Jagaban actually did not say any of such things to them. Ladies and gentlemen, our southeastern leaders deceived us. And here we are today. Nnamdi Kanu has been sent down, to Sokoto State, in what we see with the clear sign of signed, sealed, and delivered to the Sultan of Sokoto. Do as you please. Do as you please with him. We have delivered him to you. Yeah, that's how it seems. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, brace up, brace up. I have it on good authority. Yes, Maxwell Opara, the human rights activist, visited our Nnamdi Kanu at Sokoto State. He went there with his brother, Prince Emeka. Yes, Emeka Kanu. He was there with him, and they met with our maximum leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Of course, Nnamdi Kanu told them his health was still in a very precarious state. Yes, most of his organs were not performing well. Two, he told them that where he was confined to was a solitary confinement where you had no access to any visitor, no access to anything. All they do is that knock at the door, drop the food, whatever they call food, at the floor with a little sachet of water, and bang, the whole place is locked again. He said this time he's even completely lonely. Not just lonely, every other time you're hearing scratching sounds around you, because most of the so-called prisoners that have been kept here were either murderers, robbers who killed, or who dispossessed people's destinies by killing them. So you can imagine most of these people have developed psychopathic behavior, psychopathic reactions, and they are kill and dry professionals or criminals, if you like. Ladies and gentlemen, Nnamdi told his brother and his lawyer, Maxwell Opara, human rights activist, but I still, despite all these conditions, despite these unfavorable conditions, despite my ill health, despite the fact that I'm here in a solitary confinement, despite the fact that they have not given me any opportunity to address or talk to, the courts the way I should have done, despite the fact that Justice James Omotosho deceived me, claiming he was out to do justice. I didn't know he was being used, just like Justice Binta Motalan Yako would have been used. He was used to, do more damage, to do a collateral damage to me and to the Biafran struggle. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, the last words Nnamdi Kanu spoke to his lawyer, Maxwell Opara, and his younger brother, yes, Prince Kanu. He told them, listen, tell my Biafrans, tell my people of Biafra, this is not the end of the road. Tell them not to panic. Tell them not to be deceived. Tell them not to be derailed. Tell them not to be afraid. No, Biafrans, don't panic. Don't be afraid. We are winning. It doesn't matter that I am here. We are winning. It doesn't matter that I'm at Sokoto State. We are winning. It doesn't matter that they gave me life imprisonment. We are winning. Nnamdi Kanu spoke very prophetically. He said, listen, it doesn't matter where I am today. I know it's just a matter of time. Justice will be done and sin to be done. Yes, Nnamdi Kanu told Biafrans not to panic. Don't panic. We are winning. We are not, being deceived. We are never going to be a defeated people. Don't panic. We are winning. Biafrans. And of course, they said he commended, a lot of people who have shown much love to him. I mean, people like the Afrobeat musician, the young Davido, the man who, of a Yoruba extraction with the Biafran blood, who married equally, a woman with the Biafran, full Biafran lineage. Yeah, Davido, Nnamdi Kanu thanked him, for pledging and donating 100 million naira to his court struggles. He said, look, Davido, I've seen what you did, and I want to assure you, you didn't make mistake. A whole lot of people might be telling you, why are you supporting this man? He's already in the gulags. He's already given a life imprisonment. He's never coming out alive. Consider his age now. By the time he serves several more years, he will be a gunner. But Nnamdi Kanu told his lawyer and brother, he said, look, tell Davido, I'm astonished that he still believes in me. I'm astonished that he could donate such a whopping sum of 100 million naira to my court and judicial procedures. I thank him, and I thank him immensely. Tell him, he said, tell my fellow Biafrans, tell the people of Biafra, don't panic, we are winning. I'm here today, but I know it's just a matter of time. I'll be out, because they can't hold me. They can't hold me down. You don't hold a man down on criminal with a criminal startup to your so-called trial and mistrial. I mean, I was criminally abducted in Kenya against my wish, against fundamental human rights regulations in Kenya, against the rule of law of Kenya against international court practices, internationally recognized human rights practices. I was kidnapped in Kenya and I was renditioned. They call it rendition, but I know it's abduction. They put me in a flight, injected me, chained my hands, and feet. Yes, and then they brought me to Nigeria. Yes, like a booty, like somebody who has caught a booty. You have gone to a war and you have defeated the people, you are bringing a booty home. That's what they did to me, and that is criminal. The International Court of Justice recognizes it as criminal. Kenyan laws on human rights have actually confirmed that was criminal, and they have charged Kenya and Kenyan people for aiding and abetting such criminality. They were charged millions upon millions of shillings in damages to my person. Yes, Kenya described what Nigeria did to me as an aberration of justice. Yes, I was kidnapped, I was, chained, disgraced, and abducted into a flight and brought down to Nigeria and handed as a booty to the late PMB. He said, but don't worry, fellow Biafrans, don't worry, delay is not denial. I make a bold step and I make a bold proclamation today. It's just a matter of time. Forget the so-called life sentence by Justice James Omotosho. It doesn't hold water. They could not. All the charges, which they based their so-called judgment have been repealed. There's no extant law in Nigeria that is holding me bound. They claim so many charges, but of course they have no proof whatsoever. So I'm very much encouraged. It's just a matter of time. Justice will be done and be seen to be done. Thank you, fellow Biafrans. Thank you for those of you who have been supporting me. Thank you, Davido. Thank you, my dear people of Biafra. Ladies and gentlemen, those were the words of Nnamdi Kanu. He didn't die. He didn't commit suicide because he was sent on a life imprisonment and bundled to Sokoto State. He didn't give up the struggle. He didn't sell the mandate. No, several attempts were made to bribe him. He was given so much money, promised so much money, whopping millions in hard currencies, and told to abandon the struggle. He was encouraged to abandon the struggle. But unlike Sunday Igboho of the Duduwa fame, unlike all those militants and terrorists that sold their lives, sold their conscience for mega ridiculous porridge. For how much? Nnamdi Kanu said, no, I will not sell the mandate. I will not deceive my people. I will not abandon them now. I will never. Because of course, I know Biafra is in our DNA. Because of course, I know Biafra is our way of life. Because of course, I know that they have done everything to rewrite history, to lie against us, to claim that the Biafrans were those who actually, fomented trouble in Nigeria. They said we're those who planned the coup. The first coup in Nigeria, the 1966 coup. They said we're the ones who started killing others. They said we're the ones who dominated others. They said Biafrans were those who manipulated and, of course, marginalized others. They are rewriting history when the history is very clear, when the truth is very clear that Biafrans have suffered so much. Because as a people, the Biafrans put so much since the amalgamation of Nigeria. Yes, in 1914, since the independence, our people, the Biafrans fought for this independence, fought with their blood, fought with their money, fought with their lives. And of course, they have today been treated like a second fiddle. All I did, my crime against Nigeria was I was able. I said, no, things cannot continue like this. I said, no, enough is enough. You don't treat my people like a defeated people. You don't treat them like unwanted people. They have paid their dues. They have done the needful. They have contributed their quota to the socio-economic development of Nigeria. They are part and parcel of the amalgamation of this country. They formed the tripod, the formidable tripod of the first three strongest regions, three major regions in Nigeria. When you talk about the north, you talk about the south, then you talk about the southwest. My people have paid their dues. Why do you treat them so shabbily? Why do you treat them with so much shame and the inequity? Why do you treat them without fairness? If you don't want them, let them go. They have told you they want to go. Yes, they fought the war that was forced on them between 67, 68, 69, 70. Yes, they fought the war that eventually was fought and lost. And of course, their so-called head of state then, he's alive today, General Yakubu Gowon. He came out and said, no victor, no vanquished. And our people believed him. Our people trusted him. He said there is going to, he's not going to, there'll be an application of the 3 R's. The 3 R's in Nigeria after the war. The 3 R's will represent the reconstruction of damaged structures and facilities. The 3 R's will equally involve reintegration of people who have been scattered. And then, of course, rehabilitation. It will bring everybody back. It will make peace reign. And there will be unity and togetherness. And everybody will be able to go around with their businesses. But of course, we didn't know Yakubu was speaking. He was speaking mere grammar. He was carried away, by the rhetorics and by the mantra, the 3 R's. He was carried away by his speech. He had no intention of putting anything real into that speech. You know why? Because just a few weeks after declaring no victor, no vanquish, after a few weeks of saying the 3 R's will be implemented: reconstruction, rehabilitation, and reintegration, and we all listened to him. Just a few weeks after that, what he declared, having listened to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, late Obafemi Awolowo, who was his economic advisor, what he did was to give Biafrans a paltry, a miserable 20 pounds, which at that time was quite meager. Of course, 20 pounds, it didn't matter how much you had in your bank. It didn't matter how much you were worth. 20 pounds. He made Biafran pounds, Biafran money useless. And of course, insisted that it's only this 20 pounds that we will be gifted with and with which we will be reintegrated into Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, you can imagine what 20 pounds can do, to a man and his wife and children. A man who has extended relations, a man who had grandmas, aunties, a man who had uncles, a man who had dependents all over, a man who had to pay his rent because, of course, his properties have been seized under the indigenization policy called abandoned properties all over Nigeria. Everywhere the Igbo man, the Biafran had the property, most of them have gone to other people's hands. They have been sold. They have been, most of them, deliberately taken over, annexed by the people of that territory. And so the Igbo man was forced to come out from that war with pain, palpable pain, anguish, and suffering. This is what Nnamdi Kanu told the Nigerian government. This is what he was told to say. Enough is enough. If you don't want these people, stop suffering them. Stop deceiving them. Let them go. He likened it to a man who didn't love his wife anymore, who was on the verge of divorce, who had separated. And they said, look, if you're on the verge of divorce, if you're separated, if you don't want her anymore, please, let her go and let peace reign. Let her go, perhaps. Perhaps we'll get other suitors. Perhaps she will get other interested people. Perhaps, just in case, she can start anew and make something better for herself. That's what Nnamdi Kanu told Nigeria, and they have branded him terrorist, they have branded him secessionist, and they have convicted him of 7 charges and sentenced him to life imprisonment. Not just life imprisonment, they took him to the harsh environment of SOKOTO maximum prison, where they expect him to either die or eventually develop, excruciating health challenges that may equally delete his life. Ladies and gentlemen, it didn't matter. Nnamdi Kanu has told us, as a way to start this new month, he said, happy December to everybody. Happy new month of December. Don't mind that Simon EKPA is incarcerated in Finland. Don't mind that I am incarcerated here in Sokoto State. Life sentence, they call it. But don't let your spirit be dampened. Don't give up. No, settle or not. Don't let them win. No, they can't win you. Yes, locking me up, putting me here does not in any way affect Biafra. Biafra is in our DNA. Biafra is in our heart. Biafra is our struggle. Biafra is our culture. Biafra is our way of life. They can't stop it by putting him in prison. Nnamdi Kanu himself clearly affirmed that, listen, what they didn't know is that Biafra is not about an individual. Yes, they keep thinking, if we grab Simon EKPA, if we take Nnamdi Kanu, if we remove them out of sight, Biafra is over. Those people who talk about Biafra will be vanquished. Those people who proclaim Biafra and propose Biafra will die naturally. But they didn't know. What they don't know is that Biafra is not about a person. Biafra is not about an individual. Biafra is not about Simon EKPA. Biafra is not about Nnamdi Kanu. Biafra is not even about Dr. Adadiolamma. Biafra is a people, people's culture and way of life, people's decision, people's hope and aspiration, people's faith that one day, very soon, one day, they would achieve their own country, their own laws, their own environment, where they could determine and dictate their preferences. Yes, it will not be the same thing as usual. Yeah, because Biafra, you declare the United States of Biafra will have zero tolerance for this corruption, for the shenanigans, for massive corruption at the judiciary, massive corruption in the country. Farmers Nnamdi Kanu said that the judiciary has really worsened much more than he anticipated. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a new month. I won't want to bore you with unnecessary details, but I want to once again reaffirm and encourage you. Nnamdi Kanu has said, this is a new month. Yes, I'm gone. I'm 25. I'm at Sokoto State, and they've given me a life sentence. But I want to assure you, I'm with you all the way in the spirit. The struggle must continue. The struggle must continue. Don't ever look back. Nobody puts his hand on the plow and looks back. Don't ever look back. Fellow Biafrans, don't give up. Don't panic. Don't be afraid. Don't worry. We're winning. It's just a matter of time. We're winning. Do everything to support Dr. Adadiolamma. Yes, she has gotten the mantle. She's working, and she's working assiduously to achieve full sovereignty for the redeclared sovereign state of Biafra. Ladies and gentlemen, let's beg it here. It's a brand new month. We should have good things in our mind. And one of the things I want you to remember today is that yes, Nnamdi Kanu is incarcerated. Yes, Simon Ekpa is incarcerated. Yes, but Biafra is not incarcerated. Can never be incarcerated. Biafra is the way of life. Biafra is our culture. Biafra is our hope and aspiration. And someday surely we are walking to our promised land. Ladies and gentlemen, give maximum support from Govt. Continue to listen to us. Continue to pray for Nnamdi Kanu. Continue to pray for the appeal of Simon Ekpa. And of course, I hope you all know in a few more weeks from now, yes, maybe another 2 months from now, Nnamdi Kanu will be fully ready to appeal this shenanigan judgment foisted by Justice James Kolawa Omotosho, who was, of course, by every indication, dancing to the beat of the cabal. He wanted to please the cabal because, of course, the cabal have taken care of him. We know what happened. We are not ignorant of the devices of the cabal. Ladies and gentlemen, till I come your way again, have a wonderful new month ahead, and I wish you everything good and positive. Above all, Biafrans, don't panic, don't be afraid. No, we are winning, surely winning. It's just a matter of time. Delay is not denial. Incarceration is not death. No way, we are winning. God bless you all.
Nnamdi Kanu is a clear example. In 2022, Nigeria's Court of Appeal struck down the charges against him and ordered his release. The UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention has also called for his unconditional release. Yet he remains in solitary confinement, in deteriorating health, and recently had to represent himself in court. Nigeria has signaled that the law is optional and targeting Christians is fair game. Just hours ago this morning, despite the pleas and cries of the Nigerian people and many Nigerian lawmakers, Nnamdi Kanu was convicted on all charges. For fiscal year 2025, the U.S. has requested nearly $8 billion for sub-Saharan Africa. But when Americans see political prisoners, judicial defiance, and the slaughter of Christians, they understandably ask as they meet their own struggles, why should our tax dollars support governments that refuse to protect their own people? Is our aid aiding a genocide? Nigeria is a nation of tremendous potential, but that potential is being choked out by violent persecution of its Christian population. No country can build a stable future where churches are burned, believers are killed, and communities live in fear.